Opening the sutra, the Dharma incomparably profound and infinitely subtle is rarely encountered even in millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
All right. Hello. So wonderful to see all of you. It's such a nice, sort of quiet, workman-like energy happening in the Zendo. You're kind of all purring along. It's lovely. Thank you. So this afternoon, we're going to be continuing to work on the Mumonkan. As most of you know, I'm working through the cases. Rinson has asked me to work through all the cases publicly in Teisho's. So we're up to number 12. And it goes something like this. Master. Yes? Thoroughly awake? Yes, yes. Don't be deceived by others. Any day or any time. No, no. So Master Zuigan used to enact that dialogue with himself daily, if not hourly, if not minute by minute. Interesting, right? So tell me, what kind of dialogues are you having with yourself today? No, wait, on second thought, I really don't want to know. All right, so we're opening up the grimoire. So if anyone, you don't know what a grimoire is, it's a book of spells. So this is my book of anti-spells. This is my book of spells to lead us to no longer being bewitched by our samsaric egos just getting in the way all the time. And it's quite nice, right, because it's so big. Need a lot of heft to get through all this. Okay. So Zuigan calls himself master. Case 12. Every day, Master Zhuigang used to call to himself, "Master," and would answer yes. Again, he would call, "Thoroughly awake? Thoroughly awake?" And he would answer, "Yes, yes." Don't be deceived by others any day or any time. No, no. For some reason, this koan reminds me of like when you get up in the morning and you're looking in the mirror. You're just sort of like that first moment of like, what is this day going to be like? Isabella actually has these little sticky notes on her mirror like, "You're amazing, you're wonderful, keep it going, girl power," whatever, you know. There's something, this business of talking to ourselves, right? So much of our practice is just appreciating how much we talk to ourselves. And what are we saying to ourselves? Holy moly, right? What are we saying to ourselves? Who are we talking to? It's a really good question. So Zhuigang is also talking to himself. But since he's a Zen master, he's elevated the conversation a bit. All right? The first thing he says to himself is, "Master." Would you get up in the morning and say to yourself, "Master"? There's another koan about master. Comes much later in the collection. And it goes something like, "Who is the master hearing that sound?" So it's a little bit later. So I think it sort of assumes that you've kind of gotten used to the master. Really important question. The question that we're actually grappling with on the cushion. Who is the master? In Zen, we take up that question, and essentially any dialogue that we throw up is not the ultimate master. Because the master that Zhuigang is referring to here is Buddha nature, is the original face before all this blah, 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 blah. Right? You know, in Buddhism, they have like these abhidhamma. It's kind of like the psychological investigation of the mind. And if you were to look at that, and there's like 6 levels of consciousness: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. We all say those every time in the Heart Sutra. And then the next level of consciousness, the 7th level of consciousness, is this sort of sense of I am, that feeling that we always have that we're here. Something's here, presence, right? And then the next level of consciousness, the 8th level, is called the storehouse consciousness. And that's the book that gets imprinted of all of the experience of our life into our consciousness, all of the karmic moments that we've experienced. You know, that's the one where, you know, when you get to the gates of heaven or hell and they open the book, right? And they put it on the scale. Is there more good stuff than bad stuff? That isn't just like in this Judeo-Christian tradition. It's also in the Buddhist tradition. They call it the white rocks and the black rocks, right? The scale. Good news is, the more you practice Dharma, the more happy white rocks are filtered and seeded into the storehouse consciousness. There's really nothing you can do about getting things out of there once they're in, right? Better to put good things in while you can. And it is empty of inherent existence. Nevertheless, it has an effect. And we have this whole way of training where we're really trying to get ourselves to let good karma drop into that storehouse. It's called bodhicitta. It's called refuge. It's called taking the pure precepts, taking the grave precepts. All of this is aligning ourselves with choosing love over something else. And finally, the 9th consciousness, this is nature pure. Everything's pure. That's what I am. This is the consciousness of clear light. This is, if you will, the God consciousness. The master resides in the 9th consciousness. Big hint. And it is from the 9th consciousness and through the 9th consciousness that all things arise. And when we're on the cushion, we are practicing direct realization of that 9th consciousness. We are practicing direct realization of master. It's just not some, lineage thing where this guy or that woman got transmission and now they're a Zen master. Each one of us is the master. Interestingly, Zhuigan, even before his awakening experience, used this little dialogue daily. After his awakening experience, he used this little dialogue daily. So he would call to himself master, and he would answer, yes. That lovely, beautiful word, yes. My practice is yes. I am opening myself completely to the Master. Yes, I am fully present. My life is all about union with this consciousness of clear light. Union with the fact that everything that's happening in all those other levels of consciousness arise from this ninth level of consciousness. And again, he would call thoroughly awake, thoroughly awake. So that's the admonition there, right? Do it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, right? Don't waste a second. The amazing thing about Zen practice is that you don't have to wait a millisecond to practice, because every single thing that is arising in your mind stream is the ninth consciousness arising. Isn't that great? I mean, let's make it really easy, shall we? I mean, thoroughly awake, thoroughly awake. And he would answer again, yes, yes. This is our practice here. Yes, yes, sitting on this cushion. Yes to what's happening. Yes to the pain. Yes to the utter and complete confusion. Yes to whatever weird little dialogue you have going on in your mind, which we don't want to know about. And just staying with the breath, putting the mind in the hara, letting go of the ensnarement and the entrapment of whatever would have us think that our life was anything different than the life of the Master. It's actually pretty simple. Don't make it more complicated than it is. I mean, this guy's saying a few words. Master, yes. Awake, no. Very simple. Very, very simple. But very true. Very authentic. Very, brave in letting who you are, who your mind is, show itself as it really is. Very brave. And remember, this is always in companionship with your bodhisattva vow, with the life of the precepts. It's always in companionship with refuge, right? Buddhas and bodhisattvas arise from the cracks of the earth, arise as your own mind. So no matter how scary it is, the help, the possibility of just dealing with it is always there. It co-arises. So you don't have to really worry too much. Everything's already accomplished, right? Don't be deceived by others. So don't be deceived by the othering in your mind that would tell you differently, that makes you think you have to do something about this ninth level of consciousness, you aren't going to do a thing about it. It's way, way, way bigger. It's got you. You don't have it. Right? So get used to it. And then Zvigan says, no, I won't be deceived. And so you're sitting there and all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I'm really caught in some kind of whatever strange dialogue going on in my head that isn't about the master being awake. Far, far away from that, right? No worries, because you can't escape the ninth consciousness anyway. And just say, oh yes, awake, aligning, complete union with Buddha nature, right? Not separate from this thing that I just got caught in. But yet if I just stay caught, that's a problem. This is an interesting part of practice. Because you could say, well, if everything is, people say, oh, everything I do is Zen, so it doesn't matter if I'm just caught. Well, that's not it either. Because being caught in the weird dialogue is actually causing harm to yourself, and more importantly, or just as importantly, the self that kind of erases itself for everybody else when you're just in that crazy talk, right? So if you're going to have a dialogue with yourself, might I suggest, Master, yes? Thoroughly awake. Yes. Don't be deceived by others. Any day or any time. No.
Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable.